Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all our attendees joining us today. My name is Vikrant Chaturvedi, Senior Manager Research at Brickwork Ratings, and I'm delighted to be your moderator for today's webinar on potential and untapped opportunities in India's packaging sector. Before we dive into our discussion, let me briefly introduce Brickwork Ratings. We are a SEBI registered credit rating agency, also accredited by the RBI, offering a comprehensive suite of rating services for bank loans, NCDs, fixed deposits, commercial papers, and more. Our mission is to foster financial literacy and provide transparent, reliable ratings that help investors and stakeholders make informed decisions. Joining me today are two of our senior analysts, Abhishek Das and Girish Basantani, both of whom bring deep sectoral expertise and analytical rigor to our discussion. Together, we will explore the dynamic landscape of India's packaging industry, uncover growth drivers, and spotlight the emerging yet untapped opportunities that lie ahead. Let's begin by setting the stage. The packaging sector in India is one of the fastest growing industries, currently ranked as the fifth largest sector of the Indian economy. This growth is propelled by a confluence of factors: a growing population, rising disposable incomes, rapid urbanization, and the exponential growth of e commerce. Packaging is no longer just about containment and protection. It is now integral to product safety, branding, and consumer experience. The sector caters to a wide array of industries from food and beverages to pharmaceuticals, personal care, electronics, and automotive, each with its unique requirements and opportunities. Now, for the presentation, I would like to invite my colleague Girish. He will share his insights into the industry.
Thank you, Vikrant. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for insightful webinar on India's future in packaging industry. Let's dive right into first slide, which provides overview of market size and dynamics. Vikrant, are you sharing your screen for slides? Sorry about that technical glitch. Okay, let us now look at the industry overview part. India's packaging industry is a vibrant and developing sector reflecting country's expanding consumer market and industrial advancement. It covers a wide range of material formats application across various industries. Key sectors such as food and beverage, pharmaceutical, e-commerce heavily rely on packaging solution for product preservation, branding, consumer convenience. In FY24, India packaging market was valued at INR 6,600 billion, marking growth rate of 4% from FY23. Projection indicate by FY28, market could expand to INR 8,600 billion, growing at a CAGR of 6.7%. As the fifth largest sector of India's economy, packaging industry has shown consistent growth, holds significant potential for further expansion, particularly in export market with processing and packaging costs which are 40% lower than certain European region. India has become attractive destination for investment. Packaging consumption per capita remains relatively low at around 15-16 kilograms compared to global average of 57 kilograms. Packaging sector in India plays crucial role in employment, directly engaging around 5 lakh individuals and indirectly supporting additional 1.5 million jobs. With over 22,000 packaging units across the country, industry is largely driven by SMEs, which account for 85% of total units. North and West India lead rigid plastic packaging segment, collectively holding 67% of market share in production and sales. Meanwhile, South India stands out in manufacturing of packaging machinery and pharmaceutical contract packaging, driven by a robust industrial base and focus on technology innovation. In contrast, East India is an emerging market in packaging industry, showing promising growth potential fueled by ongoing rising consumer demand. Next slide, please. Moving to second slide, we'll explore sector composition and market share by industry and end users. Plastic packaging leads India's packaging industry, commanding 52% of total market share in FY23. Its dominance is mainly due to flexibility, affordability, lightweight properties. Plastic packaging is manufactured through various processes, allowing for both flexible and rigid packaging solutions. The reason for plastic dominance include utility, cost effectiveness, and flexibility. Additionally, regulatory influences and innovations are prompting companies to prioritize sustainability and improve reusability of plastic packaging. Next, we have paper board packaging, which accounts for 26% of market share. This segment is driven by sustainability efforts, with innovation focused on increasing recycled content and developing moisture resistant materials. Metal packaging, mainly made from tin plate and aluminum, holds 8% of market share, while glass packaging accounts for 13%. Each of the segments plays a crucial role in meeting diverse needs of various industries, from food and beverage to pharmaceuticals. By end users in FY23, food and beverage segment led India's plastic packaging market with 52% share, expected to rise around 53% by FY28, driven by growing demand for packaged and ready-to-eat foods. Pharmaceutical sector followed with 18% share to reach around 19%, supported by regulatory needs and healthcare expansion. Personal home care segment held 14%, expected to grow slightly towards 14.5%, fueled by steady demand for cosmetic, skincare, and household products. Next slide. Now let's discuss key growth drivers in the packaging industry. First, rapid growth of e-commerce in India has significantly increased demand for packaging materials such as boxes and bubble wraps. As consumers turn to online shopping, e-commerce sector continues to drive expansion of paper and packaging industry. Government initiatives for sustainability are also crucial. Policies like plastic waste management rules and Make in India initiative have spurred investment in eco-friendly packaging solutions, increasing demand for paper-based alternatives. Moreover, there is a growing awareness of sustainability among consumers, leading to shift towards eco-friendly packaging options. This trend is further supported by technology advancement in paper and packaging industry, which enhance efficiency and product quality. The expansion of FMCG and retail sector is driving growth for packaging solution, with projection indicating robust growth in these industries and sectors. Lastly, government progressive policies, including 100% FDI, have boosted foreign investment in packaging sector. From April 2000 to June 2024, FDI inflows in paper and pulp industry reached USD 1.73 billion. Next slide. On this slide, we'll examine competition and strategies adopted by various industry players. Companies are increasingly focusing on sustainability by adopting practices that conserve natural resources and ensure steady supply of raw materials. For instance, ITC has embraced sustainable forest practices and eco-friendly packaging solutions. Expanding portfolios is another strategy. Companies like Uflex are investing in research and development to create new packaging materials that cater to diverse industry needs. Improving efficiency is also a priority. West Coast Paper Mill Limited has modernized manufacturing facilities to reduce production cost and enhance productivity. Additionally, companies are exploring new markets and forming strategic partnership to strengthen their distribution networks. For example, JK Paper has successfully expanded its market presence by exporting to over 40 countries. Customization is key here as well, with companies like International Paper, APPM Limited, offering tailored package solution to meet customer requirements. Lastly, adoption of digital technologies is streamlining operation and improving customer service. Companies are adopting various strategies like product innovation, sustainability, geographic diversification, strategic partnership, acquisition, digital transformation, automation, and customer centric customization. Next slide. Now let's turn our attention to technology and impact on packaging industry. Smart packaging is changing the way we interact with products. Technologies like QR code and RFID tags enhance customer interaction and data collection. elevating packaging to a digital interface that verifies product authenticity. Digital printing technology is transforming packaging process by allowing high quality customized prints with the need for which without the need for multiple plates, minimizing waste and increasing production agility. Automation and robotics are enhancing speed and precision in packaging processes, while AI-powered inspection systems ensure consistent quality by identifying defects in real time. 3D print enables quick prototyping of packaging design, reducing time and cost. Nanotechnology is improving packaging material by enhancing the barrier properties, strength, and ensuring food safety. Nanotechnology also enhances food safety by nano coatings. Lastly, companies are deploying technologies like AI/ML in packaging lines, advanced data analytic tools, which are optimizing their inventory management, streamlining their supply chain operation, and assisting them to cut cost and boost efficiencies. Next slide. Now let's explore the opportunities within the India packaging market. India's packaging industry is one of the fastest growing sectors, driven by consumer demand, urbanization, and e-commerce growth. Sustainable packaging segment is witnessing significant growth due to rising environmental awareness and regulatory initiatives. India has relatively low per capita consumption of packaging compared to many other countries, which is a huge opportunity. Indian government has introduced several policies to encourage sustainable packaging practices such as plastic waste management rules which promote use of recyclable materials. Consumer awareness also on the rise with growing demand for eco-friendly packaging solutions across various industries. Indian companies are investing in innovative production and packaging technologies, creating opportunities for international investors to partner with them. Market research indicate India's sustainable packaging market is projected to grow significantly, making India an appealing destination for investment in sustainable packaging solutions. The sector presents significant opportunities for global local partnership in areas such as sustainable materials, automation, smart packaging. It opened doors for joint ventures for technology transfer, backward integration by OEMs and FMCG companies. Supply chain opportunities, especially in food and pharmaceutical industry, is driven by well-developed logistic and warehousing networks, alongside increasing investment in returnable packaging system and sustainable innovation. Sector is also harnessing advanced technologies such as AI, IoT, smart sensors, biodegradable materials, and automation to enhance scale and operational efficiency. Now, I would like to invite my colleague Abhishek Das to take you through the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish. Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Abhishek Das, and I welcome you all to this insightful webinar. Now, I will take you through the sustainable packaging trends and innovations in India's packaging industry. Sustainability is at the forefront of industry transformation. India is undergoing a packaging revolution due to environmental concerns, regulatory changes, changing consumer preferences, and shifting towards circular economy solutions. Now, let's explore the top trends driving the shift towards sustainable packaging in India. First is the rise of recyclable and biodegradable materials. Innovations in biodegradable and compostable packaging materials are providing alternatives to traditional plastic packaging, thus significantly reducing environmental impact. The market for biodegradable plastics in India is expected to grow at a CAGR of over 15% between 2020 and 2025. Second is the recyclable packaging. Recyclable packaging solutions are also advancing, driven by Indian government focus on extended producer responsibility under the plastic waste management rules. Third is the returnable and reusable packaging. Businesses are promoting reusable packaging models, particularly in beverages, cosmetics, and grocery delivery, to encourage consumers to return packaging for reuse, supporting a circular economy and reducing cost. Fourth is the plant-based and renewable materials. Using plant-based and renewable materials like bamboo and sugarcane bagasse offer sustainable alternatives to traditional materials, with Indian bioplastic market expected to grow at a CAGR of over 10% from FY24 to 26. Fifth is smart and tech-enabled sustainable packaging. Smart packing technologies like QR codes, real-time tracking, and tamper-proof seals are enhancing transparency, traceability, and consumer trust, thus ensuring product authenticity and efficient supply chain management. Lastly, personalized and customer-centric packaging. Advanced digital printing enables brands to customize packaging for targeted engagement, thus enhancing brand value and creating memorable unboxing experiences. On the innovations front, alternatives like seaweed based films, honeycomb papers, and plant pulp are being explored for plastic replacement. Flexible packaging using new polymers is gaining popularity. Process innovations include life cycle assessments, local sourcing, and extended power responsibility regulations, reducing carbon footprints and supporting local economies. By embracing recyclable, renewable, and reusable solutions, India's packaging industry is paving the way for a cleaner, greener, and a more innovative future. Moving on to the next slide, let's take a closer look at the key government policies and initiatives shaping the packaging industry in India and how these policies are impacting businesses, promoting sustainability, and driving innovations. Key government policies and initiatives include: first is the plastic waste management rules and extended producer responsibility. The plastic waste management rules, introduced in 2016, aim to curb plastic waste and encourage recycling through extended producer responsibility. The 2018 amendment updated regulation regarding plastic packaging, promoting recycling alternatives. Next is the single-use plastic ban that target items like plastic bags and cutlery to combat plastic pollution. Additionally, the national packaging policy is under consideration to establish standard for packaging and promote recycling. Third is the Eco-Mark certification scheme. This scheme certifies environmentally friendly products, including packaging materials that meet specified sustainability criteria. Fourth is the standardization and quality norms. Quality and safety are taking center stage. BIS and FSSAI have tightened norms for food grade plastics, metal containers, and pharma blister packs. Traceability through QR codes and GS1 barcoding is being encouraged for both domestic and export markets, thus enhancing transparency and consumer trust. Next is the green packaging and environmental compliance. The Green Credit Program, introduced in late 2023, is gaining traction. Packaging firms engaged in recycling, material substitution, or emission reductions can now earn tradable green credits. Moreover, partnerships with urban bodies for segregation and recovery are being incentivized via CSR and ESG score integration. Moving on to the next slide. Now let's discuss the financials of the industry. The Indian packaging industry has witnessed robust revenue growth fueled by rising consumption, e-commerce expansion, FMCG demand, and a shift towards sustainable packaging. Despite this, operating profit margins have been volatile, impacted by input cost fluctuations, demand changes, and regulatory trends. Post FY 2021, the sector faced significant margin compression due to high raw material and energy costs, along with delayed price transmission, demand normalization, capacity expansions, forex volatility, and high competition in FMCG flexible packaging and e-commerce. The transition to eco-friendly packaging has further raised input and transition costs, especially given the reliance on imported high-end raw materials and machinery. On the raw materials front, the prices of key raw materials like kraft paper and waste paper have surged significantly due to higher freight costs and supply delays. The packaging industry, particularly paper based packaging, relies heavily on recycled fiber, whose scarcity and price hikes has boosted raw material costs. Plastic packaging raw materials derived from petrochemicals have also seen sharp price increases due to fluctuating crude oil prices, supply chain disruptions, and geopolitical tensions, which further squeezed margins. Profitability has varied across players. Leading firms like TCPL Packaging have maintained stable EBITDA margins in the range of 13 to 16.5% due to economies of scale and efficient operations. Other firms like Nahar Polyfilms have achieved sharp margin improvements through cost management and operating leverage. However, the sector dependence on crude oil linked imports leaves it vulnerable to global commodity swings. Companies with diversified products and strategic contracts are better positioned to manage margin volatility. Going ahead, while supply demand balance improves and input costs stabilize, near term pressures remain. The sector is expected to see some margin recovery as raw material prices stabilize and value added products gain share. Now let's talk about the balance sheet strength. The sector balance sheet has grown steadily from FY21 to FY24, supported by capacity expansion, investment in automation, and strategic acquisition. While mid-sized players have seen higher long-term debt due to capex for expansion and sustainability initiatives, this has been offset by strong internal accruals and improved interest coverage ratios. Many companies maintain a healthy liquidity positions with current ratios above 1.5x, indicating robust short-term financial health. Financially, the sector remains stable, characterized by strong profitability, moderate leverage, and consistent cash flows. Growth prospects are underpinned by sustained FMCG and e-commerce demand, along with a shift to sustainable packaging and export opportunities. Prudent working capital management and strategic capex have bolstered financial resilience, positioning the sector to benefit from India's consumption driven growth and global export potentials. However, challenges persist, including raw material price volatility, regulatory shifts, and cost pressures. The FY25 to FY28 outlook suggests a revenue CAGR of 7 to 10% with improved EBITDA margins and healthy cash flow. Flexible plastic packaging is a key growth segment. While companies slow to adopt sustainable practices may face valuations and operational headwinds. Overall, the sector's strong balance sheet, cash flows, and cost management make it attractive for long term investment. Moving on to the next slide. Now, let's discuss some of the risks facing the packaging industry. First is economic fluctuations, which can lead to supply shortages and price volatility for raw materials. Inflation has increased costs for energy, fuel, and labor, impacting consumer demand and leading to customer destocking. Second, environmental concerns regarding resource usage and pollution are under scrutiny, particularly with non biodegradable materials. The excessive use of plastic has contributed to pollution and habitat destruction, highlighting the urgent need for innovation in sustainable packaging solutions. Third, the regulatory challenges are also significant, as companies must adapt to stricter regulations while managing compliance costs. Additionally, the cost of sustainable packaging materials can be higher than traditional options, thus creating barriers for widespread adoption. Fourth, infrastructure limitation in waste management and recycling, particularly in rural areas, pose challenges for effective recycling processes. Lastly, consumer behavior remains a challenge as many prioritize convenience and price over sustainability. Moving on to the last slide, let's look at the outlook for India's packaging industry. The food and grocery market account for nearly 70% of total retail sales, with flexible packaging expected to drive growth in this sector. The COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the growth of the online food ordering market, leading to increased demand for packaged food products. The outlook for India's packaging industry looks positive, supported by factors such as an expanding population, urbanization, and higher disposable incomes. Further government initiatives and technological advancements are expected to enhance manufacturing activities and improve supply chain efficiency. While challenges like fluctuating raw material prices and competition from alternative materials exist, strategic investments and a focus on sustainability will enable the industry to seize opportunities and strengthen its global market position. As consumers reconnect with their cultural roots, local brands are tapping into these preferences through packaging. Additionally, major multinational companies are committing to sustainable packaging, driving significant growth in this area. Coming to the conclusion, the growing demand for eco friendly packaging will continue to shape the market until 2034, with leading consumer packaging companies focusing on integrating sustainable materials into their strategy. That's it from my side. Thank you all for your attention. We hope this presentation has provided valuable insight into the future of India's packaging industry. With this, I would hand over to Vikrant and request him to open the floor for questions.
Thank you, Abhishek. Now we will take some of the questions that we received during the registration. The first question: what do you predict will be the single biggest disruption in packaging over the next 5 years, and how should companies get ahead of it? Girish, can you take this one?
Sure, Vikram. So over the next few years, 5 years down the line, the most significant disruption which we see, which is indicated by the data available, will be the rapid shift towards sustainability, fundamentally reshaping materials, design, and business models. This transformation is being driven by intensified regulatory mandates, evolving customer expectation, technology innovation. All these converging to make eco-friendly packaging not just a differentiator, but a baseline requirement for market participation. So that I see, and we see, as a major disruption coming down few years down the line.
Thank you, Girish. Second question: in today's volatile logistics environment, what is the single most effective strategy you can suggest to maintain service levels? Abhishek, would you like to take this one?
Sure, Vikrant. In today's volatile logistics environment, the single most effective strategy to maintain service level is implementing dynamic AI driven route and freight optimization. This approach leverages real time data, predictive analytics, and automation to adapt instantly to disruptions, whether from traffic, weather, supply chain bottlenecks, or market fluctuation, thus ensuring goods move efficiently and customers receive reliable service.
Thank you, Abhishek. The final question: how you see credit rating of packaging companies going in future? Where world would move towards sustainability? Girish, are you up for this?
Yeah, sure, Vikram. So credit rating for packaging companies are increasingly influenced by sustainability performance. Firms adopting sustainable material like reducing waste, enhancing ESG disclosure may see improved ratings, while laggards face downgrades due to rising regulatory, reputational, and climate transition risk, impacting their operational cost and long-term financial stability.
Thank you, Girish. With this, we come to the end of our presentation. Thank you all for joining our webinar today, and we look forward to seeing you in our future events. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.